How to motivate yourself. 10 ways to find motivation. It's not easy to motivate yourself. If you're like many people, you know the drill. Set the alarm early, then can't get out of bed. Write a to-do list, then get overwhelmed and escape into a Netflix binge. Get excited about goals, then feel guilty for not working on them. These cycles seem like they'll never end, right? All the while, you feel drained, frustrated, full of self-doubt, and, sometimes, just sometimes, like you've fallen into a bottomless pit of darkness and despair. Just me? Ah, okay. Anyway. Surely there are ways to find motivation, and, critically, stay motivated? Thankfully, there are. Here are 10 ways to motivate yourself so that you can become the person you want to be and achieve your goals. 1. Just start. Ugh. Don't you just hate this advice? Still, there's a reason we've all heard it a million times. It can work wonders. You don't always need to reason with your emotions or rationalize why you need to do something. You can deal with those negative feelings later on, at the right time. Instead, try setting aside all of the negative emotions and simply start. As the famous writer Mark Twain once said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. 2. Break tasks down into small steps. Whoa, another piece of groundbreaking, never heard before advice, right? Again, there's a reason so many people recommend that you use this tactic when trying to motivate yourself. Sometimes it's the simplest things done well that work the best. Remember, you can't do everything at once. That's why the painter Vincent van Gogh said, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." Here's a method to help you find motivation to get things done. Write down what you need to do on a piece of paper. Then, write down every single step you need to take to make it happen. Finally, ignore everything except the step you're working on. Once in the flow, you may just find it easier to continue with the next task. 3. Create a positive mindset. Getting motivated is almost impossible if you're looking at the situation from a negative viewpoint. On the other hand, positivity can be energizing and help you to motivate yourself. So, pause and ask yourself, what's good about this situation? As the author Catherine Pulsifer said, if we have the attitude that it's going to be a great day, it usually is. 4. Create a feeling of gratitude. When you find yourself stuck in a rut, it can feel impossible to motivate yourself. So before you try to motivate yourself, take a step back and try to appreciate how you feel. When you feel appreciation for yourself, it's much easier to stay motivated. One of the quickest ways to feel good about yourself is to practice gratitude. It's almost entirely impossible to feel low and grateful at the same time. To practice gratitude, start by writing down 3 things you're grateful for. These could be anything, from your morning coffee, to your pet, or even the comfortable chair you sit on. Ideally, you could make this part of your daily routine to find everyday motivation. 5. Be kind to yourself. When you procrastinate or make a mistake, it's easy to beat yourself up. In fact, if you're like many people, you may find that you internally speak to yourself in a mean way. If you notice yourself doing this, pause and try to speak to yourself kindly instead. You wouldn't speak to someone else that way, so why do it to yourself? You deserve your own kindness. Try to remember your true inherent value as a human being. Then, allow yourself to gently come back to the task at hand. 6. Be constructive. When you realize you've made a mistake or finally bring yourself back from a procrastination session, you have a golden opportunity to learn and improve. Ask yourself, why did I make this mistake? How can I avoid making the same mistake in the future? If you do this and act on what you learn, you'll transform mistakes into opportunities. The entrepreneur Arianna Huffington said, "We need to accept that we won't always make the right decisions, that we'll screw up royally sometimes. Understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success." 7. Cut your to-do list down. To-do lists can help us organize our tasks and focus on what's important. However, they can also overwhelm us so much that we end up procrastinating even more. So, if you find yourself struggling to stay motivated, cut your to-do list down to a more manageable size. Each day, choose no more than 3 tasks and make that your new to-do list. Then, ignore all but the first item. You may find that with time, you can take on a longer to-do list. 8. Set attainable goals that excite you. If you have a goal that feels too big or unattainable, it may make you feel crippled with anxiety and fear. This is a surefire way to prevent yourself from developing motivation. For now, let go of goals that paralyze you. Instead, choose exciting enough goals to help you motivate yourself, but not so big that you freeze when facing them. As the politician Theodore Roosevelt said, keep your eyes on the stars, and your feet on the ground. 9. Imagine your future. If you don't change, this tip can make inspiring yourself easy. Instead of focusing on the change you want, imagine the life you'll have if you don't stay motivated. Ask yourself, what will life be like in 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years? Here's a motivational quote from an anonymous wise person. You can either experience the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The choice is yours. 10. Reflect on how far you've come. How often do you pause, reflect, and appreciate how far you've come? If you're like many people, you probably don't give yourself enough credit for all the growth you've gone through. Take a few minutes to close your eyes and remember your successes, however small, relive and feel into them. Do this often to help you stay motivated.